Ladies and gentlemen, there is a war happening inside your mind. A battle between the part of you that wants to grow and the part that wants to stay comfortable. The part that wants to push forward and the part that wants to take the easy way out. And here's what you need to know. Your weakness is lying to you. Your mind is a survival machine. It is wired to keep you safe, to protect you from pain, to steer you away from discomfort. And in many ways, this has been essential to human survival. It's why we instinctively avoid danger, why we seek warmth when it's cold, why we crave food when we're hungry. But here's the problem: growth and comfort cannot coexist. Every time you set out to do something hard, whether it's waking up early to work out, studying late to master a skill, or pushing through exhaustion to finish something important, your mind will look for a way out. It will give you reasons to stop. It will whisper, "You've done enough." It will tell you that you deserve a break, that it's okay to quit, that you'll do it tomorrow. And it sounds so convincing, because your mind knows exactly how to manipulate you. It knows your weaknesses. It knows what excuses you'll believe. And if you're not aware of this, you will fall for the same trap over and over again. Think about the last time you put something off, not because you physically couldn't do it, but because you felt like you couldn't. That was your mind choosing comfort. Think about the last time you told yourself you'd start tomorrow or next week or when you felt ready. That was your mind choosing comfort. Think about the last time you backed down from a challenge, not because you weren't capable, but because you were afraid of failing. That was your mind choosing comfort. But comfort is a lie. Because while comfort might protect you in the moment, it robs you in the long run. It steals your potential. It keeps you from becoming stronger, sharper, more resilient. It convinces you to stay exactly where you are, even when you know you are meant for more. Look at any high achiever, anyone who has ever done something extraordinary. Do you think they got there by choosing comfort? Do you think they felt like showing up every day, pushing through pain, grinding through the moments when no one was watching? No. They got there because they learned how to override their own instincts. They learned that the mind is not always on their side. They learned that growth lies on the other side of discomfort. Because the truth is, you don't need to feel like doing something to do it. You don't need motivation to take action. You don't need inspiration to push forward. What you need is discipline. Discipline is what separates those who achieve from those who stay stuck. Discipline is the ability to act, not based on how you feel, but based on what you know needs to be done. And discipline starts with recognizing when your mind is trying to deceive you. So the next time your mind tries to convince you to quit, to take it easy, to back down, recognize what's happening. That's not you speaking. That's your survival instinct trying to keep you safe. But you are not in danger. You are not at risk. You are simply stepping outside of what's comfortable. And that's exactly where you need to be. Because comfort is where dreams go to die. Comfort is where potential is wasted. Comfort is the place where people settle for good enough instead of pushing for greatness. And every single day you have a choice. Listen to the voice of comfort or push through and grow. Pain is something we all experience. It comes in different forms: physical pain, emotional pain, mental exhaustion. It shows up when we push our limits, when we fail, when we lose, when life doesn't go as planned. And the moment it hits, our first instinct is to stop, to step back, to retreat into what's comfortable. But here's the truth. Pain is temporary, but growth is permanent. Whatever struggle you are going through right now, whatever challenge is testing you, whatever discomfort is making you second guess yourself, it will not last forever. Pain is a visitor, not a permanent resident. It is a storm, not the entire sky. But the growth that comes from pushing through pain, that lasts. Think about your own life. Look back at the hardest moments you've ever faced. The times when you wanted to quit. The times when you thought you couldn't keep going. And yet somehow you did. And because of that, you became stronger, more resilient, wiser. That struggle shaped you in ways that easy moments never could. Because growth never happens when things are easy. When you lift weights, your muscles tear slightly. It's painful. But as they heal, they grow back stronger. Without that discomfort, there is no strength. When you study something new, your brain struggles at first. It's frustrating. But as you push through, neurons connect and your understanding deepens. Without that struggle, there is no learning. When you go through loss, through failure, through moments that shake your confidence, it hurts. But on the other side of that pain, there is wisdom. There is resilience. There is a version of you that knows how to endure. Pain is the process. Growth is the result. But most people never get to experience that growth because they quit too soon. They feel pain and assume it means they should stop. They think discomfort is a sign that something is wrong. It's not. Discomfort is proof that you are pushing past your old limits, that you are stepping into something bigger than what you've known before, that you are in the exact place where transformation happens, but you have to stay in it long enough to see the result. Think about an athlete training for a championship. There are days when their body wants to give up, when the pain of exhaustion tells them to slow down, but they push through, and because of that they become faster, stronger, better. Think about an entrepreneur building a business. There are months, even years of setbacks, rejections, failures. But the ones who succeed are the ones who don't quit when it gets painful. Think about anyone who has ever achieved something extraordinary. Their journey was never free from pain. In fact, it was filled with it. But they understood something most people don't. The pain is temporary, but the rewards last forever. So when you face struggle, when you feel the weight of failure, when your mind tells you that you can't take another step, remind yourself this is part of the process. This is what growth feels like. The pain you feel today will be gone in a week, a month, a year. But the strength, the resilience, the growth you build from it, that stays with you for life. We all have two voices inside us. One voice is weakness. It's the voice that gives you excuses, that justifies quitting, that tells you why something isn't possible. Then there's the voice of strength. It's quieter. It doesn't argue. It doesn't make excuses. It simply tells you to do what needs to be done. Every single day you choose which voice to listen to. Weakness will always find a way out. It will convince you that the timing isn't right, that you don't have enough experience, that you're too tired, too busy, too unlucky. It will tell you that success is for other people, for those who have better resources, better connections, better talent. Strength, on the other hand, doesn't waste time explaining itself. It doesn't need to. Strength shows up when excuses stop. Because excuses don't build anything. Excuses don't get you in shape. Excuses don't start businesses. Excuses don't write books, learn new skills, or achieve dreams. Results do. Look around at the most successful people in any field, athletes, business leaders, artists, creators, innovators. Every single one of them had a moment when weakness could have won. When the excuses were there ready to be used, but they didn't take the easy way out. They chose to show up when no one was watching, to practice when they didn't feel like it, to do the work even when motivation was gone. That's the difference. Weakness waits for the perfect moment. Strength acts no matter what. Weakness complains about the circumstances. Strength finds a way through them. Weakness blames others. Strength takes responsibility. Weakness talks. Strength does. And here's the harsh truth: your results in life will reflect which voice you've been listening to. If you're not where you want to be, it's not because of bad luck. It's not because of unfair conditions. It's because at some point excuses won over effort. But the good news, you don't have to stay there. You have a choice every single day to either give in to weakness or push through with strength. It's not about talent. It's not about resources. It's about what you are willing to do when things get hard. Because success isn't about what you do when it's easy. It's about what you do when every excuse is available and you refuse to take it. Excuses will always be there. So will opportunities. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be is which one you decide to take. We all go through hard times. No one is exempt. Struggle, failure, pain, and disappointment are universal experiences. But what separates those who rise from those who stay stuck is not the difficulty itself, it's how they respond to it. Because your hardest moments define you. Not the easy days, not the comfortable times, not the moments when everything is going right. It's the times when you are tested, When you are pushed beyond what you thought you could handle. When life knocks you down and dares you to get back up. Think about the people you admire, the ones who inspire you, the ones who have achieved something great. Their success was not handed to them. It was forged in fire. They didn't become who they are because things were easy. They became who they are because they faced hardship and refused to be broken by it. Adversity is not the enemy, it is the teacher. It is the refining process that strips away what is weak and forces you to build what is strong. But most people miss this lesson. They see difficulty as something to avoid, something unfair, something that means they aren't meant for success. They focus on the pain instead of the purpose. They ask, why me? Instead of what can I learn? The truth is, the most powerful version of you is revealed in struggle. When you are at your lowest, when you are tired, when you failed, when everything in you wants to quit, that is when your character is tested. That is when you decide whether you will let the hardship define you as a victim or shape you into something stronger. It's easy to be disciplined when you feel good. It's easy to be confident when things are going your way. It's easy to stay motivated when progress is obvious. But what about when you feel lost? When you are doubting yourself? When there is no visible reward in sight? That is when your true self shows up. That is when you either break or build. That is when you decide whether you will let your circumstances control you, or whether you will take control of your own story. Look back at your own life. The moments that changed you were never the easy ones. They were the ones that hurt, the ones that forced you to grow, the ones that made you question if you had what it takes. And yet here you are. You made it through. Now think about what's in front of you. The challenges ahead, the obstacles you still have to face. They will not defeat you unless you let them. They will not define you as weak unless you choose to believe that they do. You have more in you than you think. You are stronger than you realize. But strength is not something you are born with. It is something you earn. And you earn it in the moments when everything in you wants to stop, but you keep moving forward anyway. There is a voice inside your head. A voice that questions your abilities. A voice that makes you hesitate, second-guess yourself, and wonder if you are truly capable. That voice tells you that you're not ready, that you're not smart enough, not strong enough, not talented enough. That voice is a liar. Self-doubt is not the truth. It's a story your mind tells you to keep you safe. It's fear disguised as logic. It's the easy way out when things get uncomfortable. Because if you doubt yourself, you don't have to try. If you don't try, you can't fail. If you don't fail, you never have to face the possibility that you might not be good enough. And that's the trick of self-doubt. It keeps you stuck in the same place, convincing you that staying still is better than moving forward. But here's the truth: you are capable of more than you think. Every person who has ever achieved something great had moments of doubt. Every champion, every leader, every innovator has heard the same voice in their head telling them they weren't enough. The difference: they didn't listen. They moved forward anyway. Because self-doubt is not based on reality. It is not a reflection of your actual potential. It is a conditioned response, a habit, a defense mechanism. It comes from past failures, from childhood experiences, from fears planted in you by others. But none of that makes it real. Think about the last time you doubted yourself and still took action. Maybe it was a difficult conversation you didn't think you could have. Maybe it was stepping into a challenge you weren't sure you could handle. Maybe it was pushing yourself past a limit you thought was impossible. And yet you did it. That is proof that self-doubt is nothing more than noise. The problem is most people don't push past that noise. They believe it. They let it dictate their decisions. They let it stop them from trying, from stepping into new opportunities, from becoming who they are meant to be. But you have a choice. You can let self-doubt control you, or you can recognize it for what it is, a lie. Because confidence is not something you are born with. It's something you build. And the only way to build it is by proving your own self-doubt wrong over and over again. You don't have to feel ready to start. You don't have to believe in yourself completely to take action. You just have to move forward despite the doubt, despite the fear. And the more you do, the quieter that voice becomes. Because self-doubt only has power if you listen to it. If you stop listening, it loses control. And once you stop letting it dictate your choices, you start to realize just how much you are truly capable of. Every single day, you wake up with a choice. A choice to push forward or stay where you are. A choice to take action or make excuses. A choice to be disciplined or be distracted. And whether you realize it or not, your life is being shaped by these small daily decisions. Not by luck, not by circumstances, but by what you choose over and over again. Because success is not a single moment. Strength is not built in one big leap. Confidence is not created overnight. It's all about what you do every day. The choice to wake up early or hit snooze. The choice to go to the gym or skip it. The choice to work on your goals or procrastinate. The choice to keep going or give up. These choices may seem small in the moment, but over time they determine everything. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you get stronger. Every time you choose action over excuses, you get closer to your goals. Every time you choose to push through instead of quit, you build resilience, and the opposite is also true. Every time you give in to excuses, it gets easier to quit the next time. Every time you let fear stop you, it gets harder to step outside your comfort zone. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," you train yourself to stay exactly where you are. So if you're not where you want to be, ask yourself, what choices have you been making? Because where you are right now is a result of the choices you've made in the past. And where you'll be in the future will be determined by the choices you make today. That's the power you have. No one can take that from you. No one can force you to stay the same. No one can stop you from improving, from growing, from becoming better except you. But it won't happen automatically. It won't happen just because you want it. It will only happen if you choose it every day. It's easy to push yourself when the world is watching. It's easy to show up and give your best when there's applause, when there's recognition, when someone else is holding you accountable. But what about when no one is watching? What about when there's no crowd, no reward, no one checking in to see if you followed through? That's when it really matters. Because success isn't built under the spotlight. Strength isn't developed when people are cheering you on. Discipline isn't created when you're being watched. It's built in the dark, in the quiet, in the moments when no one is there to see you putting in the work. Because who you are when no one's watching is who you really are. Anyone can be disciplined when there's pressure. Anyone can perform when there's an audience. But what separates the great from the average is what they do when no one is keeping score. Do you still wake up early and get after it when no one will know if you don't? Do you still push yourself in the gym when no one is tracking your reps? Do you still study, practice, and improve when no one is there to validate your progress? That's the difference. That's where real growth happens. Most people only give their best effort when there's external accountability. When there's a deadline. When someone is watching. When they feel like they judged if they don't perform. But the strongest people, the most successful people, the ones who rise above the rest, do it for themselves. They don't need someone watching. They don't need permission. They don't need applause. They stay hard even in the moments when no one will ever see the work they put in. Because they understand that the work done in private is what creates the results seen in public. The championship is won in the lonely early morning hours of training, not just on game day. The successful business is built in the relentless, unseen grind, not just when it finally goes public. The strongest minds are forged in moments of solitude, discipline, and commitment, not in the moments of recognition. The question is, are you willing to do the work when no one is watching? Are you willing to show up day after day, even when no one will ever know how much effort you put in? Because at the end of the day, that's what separates those who achieve greatness from those who only dream about it. No shortcuts. No excuses. Just discipline, just consistency, just relentless effort even when no one is watching. Everything you seek, strength, growth, success, purpose, it all comes down to the choices you make every single day. The battle is not against your circumstances, your past, or anyone else. The battle is against your own weakness, your own excuses, your own self-doubt. Your mind will always try to take the easy way out, convincing you that comfort is the goal. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Every moment of adversity, every hardship, every challenge is not proof of your limits, it's an opportunity to push past them. Self-doubt is a lie, and your hardest moments do not define your failures, they define your resilience. The only way forward is to stay hard, to do the work, even when no one is watching. Because in the end, it's not talent, luck, or circumstances that determine success. It's discipline, it's action. It's the daily decision to keep pushing forward. So stay hard, stay disciplined. Keep choosing strength over excuses, because no one is coming to save you, and no one can stop you except you.